90% is male.
Hello, darkness, my old...
What is going on, guys? It is chest and back day today. I thought I'd do a bit of filming today. I don't have a mic for the go yet, which is something I'm going to get in the future, so bear with me if the audio isn't amazing, but I will try and fix it up in the editing process. We're going to a different gym today. It's on the other side of Brisbane. It's a great gym for filming and it's got some pretty cool equipment. I've filmed a few times there before. So here's a tip for you guys, pre-workout. A lot of you guys are taking your pre-workout when you get to the gym. That does not make any sense. It takes 20 to 40 minutes for your pre-workout to actually kick in. So the only time you should be taking your pre-workout is either as you're leaving your house or when you're driving to the gym. It doesn't really make any sense to take a pre-workout when you're at the gym because you want it to be in your system working when you're at the gym. That's the point of a pre-workout. Pre means before, not when you get to the gym. And a lot of people I see online dry scooping their pre-workout. Don't do that. You need water for a lot of these ingredients in the pre-workout to actually have a proper effect in your system. Dry scooping is a waste of money. How would I describe my approach to training? If any of you guys know Mike Mensa, he was an old school bodybuilder, very smart guy who sort of had his own beliefs about training and nutrition at that point in time that a lot of people nowadays really do believe in. My training is, I guess, what you'd call a natural version of Mike Mensa's program. Mike Mensa was a proponent of doing one all-out set to failure and then moving on. He'd typically do 1 to 2 sets per exercise and then just move on to the next exercise. My training is sort of like that, but not to that extreme. Sometimes I'll do one top set and move on. Sometimes I might pyramid back down. I do also incorporate training your weaker body parts or training body parts twice a week rather than hitting it once a week and moving on. I think as a natural as well, the more time that you can train a muscle group, the more benefits you're going to have. Bodybuilding is really simple. You know, in this day and age, people have overcomplicated it way too much. You eat enough food, you go to the gym, you train hard, you train to failure, you come home, you do that again for years and years, and eventually you're going to max out your genetic potential and build a great physique. It's going to take years though. You don't need all these fancy supplements, you don't need all these special tricks. All you need is consistency and a plan. And that's the same thing with almost everything in life. Consistency and a plan is how you make progress. You can't have just consistency without a plan, and you can't have a plan with no consistency. Oh, it's going to be another 28 minutes to get to the gym. Oh well. I think these videos are better than studio edited, super edited videos as well, because you get a sense of who the person that you're subscribed to and following is. A lot of these scripted videos, they're very professional, a lot of B-roll in there, you know, a script that you speak to the camera, so you don't really get to be yourself as much as these videos, which is nice. So having a balance of those two different kind of videos is always good. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. What am I doing these days? Am I lean bulking, dieting? What am I doing? Well, before I went on holidays, I was on a cut. I cut down from about 76 kilos to 72.5 kilos. And on the holiday, I gained about 1 kilo, and now I'm back down to 73 kilos on the dot. So I think I'll continue my cut. I don't have a goal weight in mind. It's more about how I look. I'm not trying to get shredded. I'm just trying to maintain a lean physique. I think for me that's going to be somewhere around 70 to 71 kilos, so I don't really have a lot more weight to lose right now. Probably should have come to the gym a bit earlier today. It's always hard filming after 3:30 on a weekday because the gym gets pretty packed, but you just got to do what you got to do. In the past I used to hate filming in the gym, but you know, if you want to make content and grow a channel and educate people, help people, do all that kind of stuff, you kind of have to film. The best way to do it is film in the gym if you can when it's not a super busy time, and go to a gym that has a filming culture where people film all the time rather than going to a really quiet gym where no one ever films and then you're just setting out a tripod out there. This is really random, but when I was on the holiday I trained a few muscle groups together on the same day because I wasn't training that often and I wasn't training that hard. And I really love training chest and back on the same day. It just feels like your whole upper body was pumped. So I started doing that when I got back, and I found that it was great. And it's also a great way to make sure that you don't have any imbalances from your pushing and pulling muscles. I think Arnold used to do it in his training as well. So yeah, chest and back I hit twice a week, and shoulders I hit twice a week as well. Legs and arms I hit once a week because I'm pretty happy with how they're progressing at the moment. If you're interested in bodybuilding and building your physique, then it's really important to think about proportions. Not when you're a beginner, but later on in your training, it's definitely important. Because when you grow, after a while, you're going to have certain muscle groups that are more developed than others. So then if you give everything the same amount of attention each week, those imbalances are still going to stay the same. So you need to focus on specific muscle groups more than others at some point. What else is there to talk about? Let's think of a random topic. Fake natties. What do I think about fake natties? To be honest, I don't care if you're natty or not. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is if you claim to be natty and you're not natty and you're selling products for money, I think that's when it becomes a bit spicy, because you're essentially saying to your audience that, hey, if you buy these products, then you can get as big as me naturally, but he's not natural. And he's lying about it. That's the only time it really matters. Otherwise, I don't give a if you're natty or not. Who cares? I always will advocate for being natural and remaining natural, because fitness and bodybuilding is only one part of life. There's also health, there's also longevity, there's also other things to consider in your life. And if you're only focused on looking a certain way and using drugs to achieve that, you lose sight of a lot of other things. So staying natural is always going to be the way to go. Unless you have aspirations to compete and be Mr. Olympia, then that's different. If you're a competitive bodybuilder, if you're competing, then eventually you're going to have to jump on the sauce to make a name for yourself, because natural bodybuilding, like, it's just a hobby. You're not going to get anywhere being a natural bodybuilder and competing in natural federations. And a lot of these natural federations, they don't test. I competed in a natural bodybuilding show last year. It was my first show. I just prepped myself, and I didn't get tested. No one else in the show that I know of got tested. None of the winners got tested and claim to be natural federations. I don't think you can claim to be a natural federation if none of your athletes are getting tested. It doesn't really make any sense to me. But at the same time, there's ways to pass a drug test even if you're not natural. Just because you test negative doesn't mean that you are definitely natty. You could be smart, you could cycle off at the right amount of time. All it takes is some basic pharmacological knowledge about half-lives of certain compounds. Pretty simple stuff. Alright boys, we are arriving at the gym. I've just got to get a park first. Boys and girls. I should say that, because according to my YouTube analytics, 10% of my audience is actually female. 90% is male.
Hello, darkness, my old